Hello everyone. Today my topic is about oxygen. So talking about the oxygen, oxygen is very important for the survival of every living organism and mammals and even human beings on the earth and that is planet. So it's a most important thing for us, and because of that we are actually surviving in our day to day life. Oxygen is actually a colorless gas, and even it is a odorless gas, and it's a poor of heat and conductor of heat and electricity. So oxygen's main purpose is that to provide the as talking about the human being, we consumes oxygen through our nose, and it goes in our lungs, and the respiratory system is responsible for the intake of oxygen and exhalation of carbon dioxide from our body. So there are lots of plants which gives us fresh air and all. Oxygen makes up of 21%, and other thing we breathe is that pure and fresh air. So nowadays, because of the lots of pollution and all, many of the people are suffering from asthma problems. So basically there are so many plants which actually gives more amount of oxygen, so it's actually good for our health and all. So oxygen is not only important for survival, but also it is used in other purpose such as making of plastics, welding, textile industries, and also it's really useful. Even the oxygen in the hospitals are kept store in the O2 meter, and nowadays during our pandemic season of corona, the pulse oximeter was used to check the oxygen level in our body, so that it is said to be from 95% to 100%, in between the range the oxygen level. If it is there, then it is considered as a good oxygen level for our body, and below that, then we are really consuming less amount of oxygen. So there are oximeters to show us what is the exact level of oxygen in our body, and in hospitals we see an oxygen meter, so that the patients going through the pandemic or going through an emergency situation, which are severe in condition, example accident patient and all, who are in ICU, kept on ventilator. So ventilator is the machine where artificial oxygen is provided for the patient who is not able to consume the proper amount of oxygen needed to the body. So oxygen there also plays an important role during the severe condition and all. So oxygen is actually very important for even birds, animals. I think only anaerobic living creatures don't need oxygen because they are living in the water phase and all. So rather than that, every people need oxygen, and it's really important in our life. So it's a Greek word oxygen, and firstly that there are two molecules of oxygen, and so it is called as O2. And for earlier the scientists used the oxygen for the chemistry purpose and all. So later on it got to know that oxygen really plays an important role in human life and all. So again, what to tell about oxygen? I think that without oxygen we would not able to survive for a long. So there are so many of regular exercises to have a good amount of oxygen, and the person should avoid smoking and making his lungs getting getting suffocated from that smoke and all, because if the person is smoking daily, then his consumption of oxygen is really reduced, and the lungs are getting worsened nowadays. So the one should avoid for smoking and all, and any other kind of kind of misuse or abuse of any things. So oxygen plays a really important role. If the consumption of oxygen in our body is really good, then even the lungs remain healthy, and there will be no one going through any respiratory tract infection. And also the proper amount of oxygen supplied in our body depends on the each and every cellular function properly. And so that we can if our cells are functioning very properly, then we people are not going to fall sick. And also there is really a good need of oxygen for our body day to day, for working day to day life. So the person if the person or individual is really healthy, then he makes sure that his day goes a beautiful day, and he assures that he's doing a great job out there. So one should consume the oxygen, and treat and keep his environment clean as such as early possible, because of the environment. If there is environment clean, so that the air is also clean in nature, and by combination of that we can consume the very needed amount of oxygen in our life. So we should keep the environment really clean, and all the plastics and all, they must be degraded as they are required in a particular manner. So this was all about oxygen. Thanks a lot. Thank you.